What's up, delivery fam, and welcome to another episode of Queued Up Fridays on this channel. Yeah, I gotta get that whole introduction down pat because things are gonna be changing. Things are gonna be moving in a direction where, again, what I'm trying to get at is, since this is gonna be my last year as a full-time gig worker, I need to make sure that this is the last year. Any little minor tweaks, any little additions, subtractions on this channel needs to be sorted out before I'm no longer a full-time gig worker. But anyway, since it is Queued Up Fridays, I will be opening up the lines for y'all to call in and share what your experiences are like right now in the market that you're in. This one thing in particular I wanted to talk about because I'm like, I don't understand. What's the difference between drivers? Like, I know we all drive different cars, work in different markets, but I feel like the ultimate goal should be the same, no matter what driver it is. It's like some people want a $100 goal, some people want they just do this as supplemental income, right? Like whatever, like they can make $50 for the day, $20 a day. There's some people that just want something to do, but ultimately I feel like it's something. When you don't look at it as something, just something to do, we all have the same goal, and that's to make money, right? And the money, I feel, is available in many different areas. So I'm like, what I'm getting at is, roadie, why don't more drivers want to work the roadie platform? I did a little research online and I saw that there's like pros and cons to working on roadie. And like I've said in previous streams, especially the one last night, I want to help people. I want to help you make money, right? Now, it's sometimes you got to sacrifice something to get something else, right? What the heck is this? Lint. So it's like, I want to help you make money, right? Reach your goals quicker than you would normally get to your goals, right? Financially with these gigs, right? So I'm like, what makes an order worth it to you? And over the years, I feel like the dollar per mile rule is a great rule, right? But I feel like that hinders many drivers from making money, right? I've said it many times on the channel as well, where like everything kind of like averages out if you are willing to make money, right? You don't I'm not going to tell you what offers to take and what offers to do. I mean, what offers to do and don't do. But in the end, I feel like all drivers across the board, we're out there hustling our behinds off in the cold, rain, sleet, or snow, right? It's like we're out there hustling our behinds off. You know, the sun is hot in Florida. The snow is slippery, or the ice is slippery in the northern states. All the things we got to deal with on a daily basis. What is hindering you from making money? And I think it's the steadfast rule of the dollar per mile. Now, I get it, right? I'm not telling you to take anything lower than $1 per mile. But if you're looking for the round trip, nowadays you won't get it. I'm just telling you straightforward. Nowadays, the pay has gotten so low, you won't get, or it will be not extremely rare, but it will be rare to get a $2 per mile for the day, all day long. And for you, unless you live in a market where everything is close by. Notice how I'm just jumping in and saying different things here and there, right? But if you live in a market like mine, where things are a bit spread out, then you can't really work with the $2 per mile rule, right? The dollar there, dollar per mile there, and $1 per mile back, right? $2 per mile, you get your round trip pay. You can't really go by that, in my opinion, okay? because everything is so spread out. You're going to drive in these times that we live in now. You're going to have to drive, and you're going to have to change up your strategy. So going back to roadie, today I had 2 catering orders and 2 roadie orders, and I'm at $80, and I've only worked about 2.5 hours. I put it on my YouTube story, the picture of a $20+ roadie that I did. It was a tiny little box. The miles on it were going to make up the rest of my miles that I drove for the day. So I took it, right? I was north and I had to come back down so I could end up going home so I could do the stream, right? So I'm not putting anything up on the screen. I just wanted to start this conversation. Why don't you get your money on every platform? Don't look at roadie the way you look at DoorDash. But if you see an opportunity to head in the same direction that you are going in, which is the normal thing that I've heard many drivers say, if it's going in the same direction, if it's taking me home, I'm taking it. If it's taking me home, I'm taking it. It's the same concept, right? And I'm not saying that people aren't making their money or people are complaining. It's just more so like, why aren't people utilizing roadie more? And I've watched the videos where it says the pros and cons of roadie, the pros and cons of Uber, the pros and cons and pros and cons and pros and cons. How about this? Enough with the pros and cons, and just utilize it to make your money. Because you can make money with all of these platforms. How much will you make per delivery? That's entirely up to you and the market that you're in, right? If you're willing to let's just go down the list really quick, and then I'm going to open up the lines, right? Let's just go down the list really quick. If it's DoorDash, if all you're seeing is $2, $2, $2, $2, doesn't mean that you won't see a $6. But that $6, what are you going to do with it? It's going 5 miles. Dang, okay. You skip out on that $6 going 5 miles. Then you see $3, $3, $2, $4. You're not hitting anything because you're not getting that $2 per mile for the round trip, right? $1 per mile minimum when you go there, and deadhead miles coming back, right? You want to make money, but there's so much trash. It's like, what the hell, man? Come on, give me something, right? But on the flip side, one video in particular said that roadie pays well, meaning more money, not necessarily per mile, right? More money for the miles you'll have to drive. And like say 40, I saw one today. It wanted me to drive 109 miles, I believe. Let me see. 109 miles. I don't have my phone, but 109 miles for like $45. Now, immediately a person would look at that and like, hell no, I'm not doing that. And I was one of them today. Like, I'm not doing that. No, unless I was headed to that area. It was going to Naples, So I'm like, if I were to be going to Naples right now with a dispatch, $300, I would take that roadie, And that's the thing that I want to talk about today. All right. I know I put in the title DoorDash, Uber Eats, Grubhub, Instacart. We could talk about all of that. But I want to know, why are you not making the money you want to make? Is it because there's a lot of trash? Is roadie an app that you're just choosing? Not too many miles for the pay. Is it a miles per pay to pay ratio that's really hindering you from making the money you want to make or the money you used to make? Is there a reason why is this the reason why you don't want to use roadie? Or is it because the Home Depot orders, right, that they send, you can't see what you're picking up, and next thing you know, you got 5 bags of mulch and some all this other stuff, and you got to now do it for all $12. I'm saying that because that was me. I accepted the Home Depot on Roadie, and I had 5 big bags of mulch, and I had all kind of extra stuff. I'm like, what the mistake that I made? But it is what it is. Because I saw the opportunity. I was making the money coming back down from where I was coming from, right? So I was overworked for the little pay that I received. But that's on me. I decided to take it. Right? So anyway, with all that said, why are you not utilizing Roadie? Why are you not utilizing the apps that even if you're seeing a bunch of trash, you're not going to see trash all day. I know you might get annoyed with it, but you're not going to see trash all day. If they just don't send you anything, that's one thing, right? But if you're not going to see trash all day, why are you not utilizing that to make your money? Is it because of the miles? Or is it because of the pay for the miles? Let's open up the lines. All right. Let's see here. I'm going to put the number in the chat. 754-399-3941. Boom. All right, we got 2 callers in the queue right now. Okay, let's see what they got to say. Thank you for calling another UDM stream. Queued Up Fridays. What's up?
So, you gotta strategize. If this was not a snow day, and I wasn't stuck on a block with Grubhub, that 15 to life you should drop, I would probably just take off, and there's 2 roadies. They're both going north. One's for 14, one's for 19, for $34. I also have an Instacart I could do in Carthage. All these, you're not going to believe the payout on this. Double order for $50. The problem with it is it's going very far south where there's nothing to work down there. And if I were to do it, it would be a 70-mile round trip to get back here. So if when I'm done my block, it's still sitting there and they boost it all the way to 60, I might do it.
So let me ask you this: Have you? Well, I see that you've I think you had 1 roadie in your area, no?
I have there's a Best Buy and a Track Supply. It could come from Home Depot. There's we're more toward Lisa's Market. There's Syracuse. My swath is very wide. Like when they asked me to set my parameters, I set them huge.
But
up to 100 miles or whatever the max was.
But what I'm saying is, you received the roadie order, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, and it was a Home Depot, correct?
Nope. Track Supply.
And
Best Buy.
All right. So the thing is, when we talk about roadie, I hear a lot of people talk about the Home Depot orders. Obviously, in case you don't know what roadie is, it's just basically a last mile solution, right? Last mile solution. Somebody want to get something delivered to a certain location, same day delivery, right? But when I hear drivers talk about roadie, they usually talk about Home Depot. But let me tell y'all, roadie is not only doing Home Depot. You have the option to do Home Depot if you want to do Home Depot orders. You have the option to do Best Buy. You could deliver stereos, televisions, all that stuff for for certain pay. You can deliver Walmart, right? A lot of us already do Spark, right? And a lot of us already do DoorDash. I gotta laugh at that one because a lot of people don't like DoorDash Walmart deliveries, but a lot of people do Uber Eats Walmart, right? If we're so used to doing Walmart, roadie does Walmart as well, and they tip on the Walmart orders. Whoa, brother, whoa, gotta cut you down. But they also do Michael's, like the art store, whatever it's called, Michael's, right? Roadie does. It has many different partnerships with different stores. It's not just Home Depot. Home Depot orders tend to be the more difficult ones because you don't know what you're picking up. But they can pay decently. But Best Buy can pay decently as well. It just depends on the size of your vehicle and what you're picking up, right? So, let me ask you this, brother. I know you're not afraid to drive.
I know you're not.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
I know
Not afraid of miles, you said?
I know you're not afraid to drive the miles, right? But before you got into this mindset of, you know what, I'm going to hop on the highway, I'm going to drive, what was hindering you from making the money that you make now?
Because I didn't know what I was doing yet. I found you and Pedro and eventually Kim and a lot of others. As soon as I learned from y'all and not be afraid of highway miles, both you and Pedro preached it. And I learned very quickly there's lots of hidden honey holes with big payouts that nobody wants to go. Like, for example, I got a $14.50 order going to a spot on post that nobody likes to go to. They don't like to go to that corner. So I'm going to go there after I drop off my 2 Grubhubs that are on the same road, and then I just head over Fifth Armor Division Drive and Oswego Avenue. It's the very far corner of Bait. The thing is, you'll go out there, and there's not many drivers out right now. They're going to add that money for the miles, and they might try to send you right back there, which adds even more money, and your round trip would be huge. But I will be looking for a Grubhub order first before DoorDash because I'm on a mission. It ends at 5, and they haven't put another upcoming one yet. So if that mission ends, I'll rechange my strategy because right now I have to adapt and basically take almost everything. I'm only allowed 1 skip on Grubhub. I don't know if y'all ever had those kind of missions before. Maybe you guys in the winter areas can attest to that in the chat. So I've had to take some $5. Still, it wasn't $2 a mile, but it's still over $1 a mile, and I'm going that direction anyway. So why not? And then oftentimes it seems they sometimes they reward you for doing it. For some reason, McDonald's orders in my area are not stacking yet, like they're supposed to, because Grubhub and Uber just did that. But let's say I'm on a Taco Bell for $5, and they'll be like, oh, this guy's already going to Taco Bell, or he's already going to this street. They will reward you with another order from the same restaurant or another restaurant that's going to this same general direction. And then you can make more money, plus the $15 for every 3 orders. So that's like a $5 peak pay, but you're under a little bit stricter circumstances there. You have to, like, lunchtime, it was terrible. I couldn't do it. I had to decline 5 orders in a row from 2 restaurants I have on my blacklist. The only way I go to those restaurants if it was a unicorn and paid out $50.
Okay. Okay. So you go out there, and you're not afraid to drive those miles, and you make your money, however it gotta come, and then by the end of the week you hit 2,500. That's your goal, 2,500 for the week, right?
3,000.
Now it went up to 3,000. Okay, all right, brother. Well, you just be safe on the road, please.
My goal for today is $1,000. And because it's storming out, I'm going to stay as long as I possibly can until the orders dry up. I don't care if that's 4 a.m.
All right, brother.
As long as this weather's coming, I'm going to go. And don't be afraid, guys. Don't be afraid of these miles. You got a 4x4? You can make a V8 work today. You know, I know Ms. Gig Lady has one, so make it work for you guys. Just drive safe and smart. Just watch out for the other bozos on the road.
All right, brother. I appreciate you. All right, be safe out there, okay?
Yep, take care.
All right.
Bye-bye. Have a great.
All right, before I take the next call, the thing is, with Roadie, you can zoom out of not just you don't have to just look at your area. You can zoom all the way out, and you can see what is everywhere. Okay, once it refreshes, you can see what's everywhere. Now, if you live on, like, say we're talking about New York here, Long Island, right? Bye Bye Baby is another store that Side Hustle mentioned, right? Bye Bye Baby. They also do like tires, right? Okay, so reading your comment here, I'm gonna get you, Mike, and Gemini Gem. Side Hustle says yes. Plus, I believe it depends on the market. It always depends on the market, right? But what I'm saying is, as supplemental, right? Have it on, open it up. Don't just look at what they give you a notification for. Don't just follow that, right? But look at what the market is offering. Look at where you're going to drop off to, right? If you are going to drop off near a bye baby and they have a very small order that needs to be picked up for $12, that's taking you back to where you started from. You wouldn't know that unless you open up the app. Now, Roadie, some stores get a lot of orders and some don't, right? But it's all about getting the money. And how do you do that? The round trip that a lot of people are concerned about on a per order basis when they're looking at the offer. I really do feel like that might be hindering some from making more money. Okay? If it does not show $2 per mile for the pay versus the miles, people decline it. People say, nope, not doing it. I started thinking, okay, well, I will take this $101 to drive 68 miles. That's not $2 per mile, right? I'll take this $101 going 68 miles. That's now $101 that I just locked in. But on my way back, I'm not coming all the way back down here without taking something on the way down. That's how I make my money. That's how I do my thing. I'm doing this right here, but this is how I make my money, and my miles, they still average out, right? I know gas prices are high. I heard in some parts of California, it's like $5 a gallon for premium. And I'm like, what? We're still in like the 350s, and we're almost at $4. Some places, I think, hit $4. So if we're trying to make money, the dollar per mile rule, with all the changes that has happened with these apps, with the pay and all that, the dollar per mile rule is still a good rule to follow, but that's like for the short runs, or if everything is close by, right? I feel like if everything is close by, customers and restaurants, then, or whatever other ways you deliver, right? If everything is close by, you can maximize. You can even turn it up to $3 per mile, $4 per mile, because everything is close by. So I constantly look at what Roadie has to offer. So let me say again, in about total of about 2.5, maybe 3 hours, $80 and some change between 2 catering orders and 2 Roadie orders. That's because I was looking, while I was on my catering orders, I was looking for what Roadie had to offer in the area. I did a video saying that I love Roadie because of that. So you can zoom out, Mike. You can zoom out all the way out, and you can see what's everywhere. So if you're driving to a certain area because you don't mind doing the miles, I always have this rule that my pay must exceed my miles, unless I can stack something headed in the same direction, like I did with a Roadie. Okay, if it's 20 miles, but it's dead slow, I need to make some money, I'll drive for $25, 20 miles. I know that sounds like a lot, but you drive those miles anyway. And I'd rather make $25 get me closer to my goal, and before I come back down, I will literally make what I can coming back down to make the total round trip worth it. 20 miles for $25 is 40 miles for $25, but I will go for a $6 here, a $12 there. That's now $18. I'm not going to take a $2 to get me another $20. But, it's just I don't even need $20. All I need is about $15 to make it a $2 per mile run or $1 per mile minimum. So this is the conversation I wanted to have. So let's take the next call. We do have another caller. I want people to make money. I want to help y'all make money. I want to help you change the way that you're thinking from how many years ago to now. It's good to have a base, but it's good to also change it up every now and then, especially if you're full-time. Or if your market is great, then you never had to change it, then okay, keep making your money the way that you've been making it. Thank you for calling another UDM stream. Who are we speaking to?
Hey, UDM, this is Slavic. How's it going?
What's up, Slavic? So, I'm pretty sure you heard a lot of what I was saying. Any comments?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, I have. My first question, but please don't hang up when you hear my question.
No, I'm not going to hang up.
Are you getting paid for advertising Rody or what? It's
No.
like you look like you're pushing it today.
No, I'm not being paid to advertise Rody.
No, that's okay. Hey,
Nah,
whatever it is, I'm just kind of.
Yeah, I know you're joking, but the thing is, what I'm really trying to do is help people see a difference, right? Just look at it from a different angle, right? Like if you heard Bud Soda's story, Bud Soda said he wasn't making that much. And then he started watching Pedro. He started watching me. And then he came up with his own strategy in his market too, to the point where now Bud Soda is striving for $3,000 a week. Now it's not it's not unreachable or whatever the word is, right? It can be reached, but it's like he changed up his strategy, but he would also take offers that other people would call trash. He came up with something that works for him in his market, right? And it works so well, he makes that much money per day. Like he makes so much more per day when he just changed the way that he handled his business, you know? So this is what I'm trying to do. Just helping people see opportunities here. And I want them to take full advantage of the opportunities, right? But not everyone will do it, Slavic. You know, in the conversation I had with the Gigi Khan Don last night, towards the very end, I said I came from the mud. I don't want to ever go back there. And knowing that I can make a certain amount of money from these apps that people don't want to use at all for their reasons, I'm like, you're missing out. I don't want anyone to miss out, Slavic. This is why, even if it might seem as if I might be paid by them, and I know that was a joke, Slavic, but I might be paid by them and, you know, oh, you just keep on pushing it. No. It's not that I'm pushing them because of them. I'm pushing them to help you understand that, there's an opportunity to make money if money is what you're trying to make. You know, there's an opportunity. You just have to trust what I'm saying and apply what I'm saying, even if your market is different. Oh, they want you to drive 40 miles for $20. Yes, I get that. But how can you make those 40 miles and those $20 work? It's up to you to make it work. And that's what I'm saying. Would I drive 40 miles for $20? It depends. Am I stacking that $20 for that 40 miles with something else? I might be. I might be stacking it with a dispatch that's going 68 miles, but 40 of those miles is roadie. You know? So it might look bad, 40 miles for $20, but when I'm done, I'm driving 68 miles for 120 because I stacked roadie and dispatch together. Do you understand me, Slavic?
Hey, I understand you perfect because I multi-app and I multi-stack on multi-apps. So
That's it.
I understand you. Different markets are different, and what I can say, in other words, what I can try to interpret what you're trying to say to people and say, download all available apps in your area and figure out how you can utilize all those apps to your benefit. Some apps will not work for you the way they're working for someone else, but some apps will work for you better than they're working for that person in another area. That's all I can say.
Somebody said something in the chat here, and that I will say now is big facts. Meaning, all right, that is 100% the reason why I think a lot of people aren't making money, and why there might have been a little bit of an issue on YouTube with what people are seeing versus what people are making, right? Someone said here that the cost of living in certain markets, like say New Jersey, might be higher than the cost of living in another market, right? That is lower. So I'm just kind of like generalizing what they said. They basically said what a person in New Jersey, that the cost of living might be higher, is making like $200, $250 a day. That in their market, which the cost of living is lower, that $200 to $250 a day is probably $100 to $150 a day in their market. But they're thinking they could make $200 to $250 because of what is shown in the video. But at the end of it all, it's just more about understanding your location. But I do strongly believe if you apply, or if you figure your market out so well, you can make $200, $250, $300, $400 a day. You have to figure that out for your market. And this is why, if you remember this conversation, Slavic, I was telling people to have apps other than food delivery. You can have Roadie, you can have Dispatch, you can have Amazon, right? Everything outside of food delivery, but food delivery is so much easier that people have gotten so comfortable, especially when they were really making money, right? At first, everyone, or not everyone, a lot of people were loyal to one food delivery app. Mine was Uber Eats. Some were Grubhub. Some others were DoorDash. Then when pay started getting cut lower and lower and lower and lower, I branched out. Multi-apping. I became the multi-apping guy with food delivery. But then I saw an even bigger opportunity with pay outside of food delivery. And that's when I really started understanding that when food delivery ain't it, $4 an order, I'm over here doing a $101 run on Dispatch, because I now have that app outside of food delivery, because I'm no longer comfortable just doing food delivery. I'm uncomfortable not having all the other ones on. You understand what I'm saying, Slavic?
Yep.
And that's the point that I'm making here. Go ahead.
I'll share a little bit of my story. When everything went down and I had no choice but to go out and work.
Mm-hmm.
I started off in my neighbor's town, because there is nothing that Roadie works in my town. And my town is kind of a very rural area. Either my neighbor town is not much different, but DoorDash is my neighbor town. As a top dasher, I tried. I've been able to get to 50, 60, 70, and I got disappointed because I needed at least $3,000 a month, and I couldn't succeed. So, I started talking with other drivers, and they're like, go to Lexington. It goes to Lexington at night. So one day I went out at night, and, I did better. But of course, I was there at that time. I was still the guy that was still taking the $4 orders. Now, $4 orders are not. I just bypass them and move on to something better. So eventually, I learned to stay busy in Lexington. I learned the hours, and I learned that at night I spend too much of time at drive-thrus. But during the day, I can actually blacklist certain restaurants and actually stay busy. I got myself to $200. If you guys kind of followed me, you probably guys know.
All right.
Then I decided in December to give up my Top Dasher. Yes, I had to learn again. You know, you have to adapt. You have to alter. Especially in January, you know, the market changed completely for a lot of us. And I had to adapt. Yes, I couldn't multi-apps and make $200 a day in the beginning of January. But eventually I figured out a way. I changed multiple areas in Lexington where I would actually get back to and call it as home. You know, when actually everything slows down and nothing's there to pick up. But eventually I found spots where actually I can stay busy and I can bring in $200. Before, I was busy. I was constantly running to make the 200. Now I probably sit for about 40% of my 12-hour day in Lexington. But that 60% of the time that I run, I bring in my $200. What has changed? I run 3 apps.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll grab something on the roadie. Very rarely I do, unless it's a very short trip. And I'll explain why I avoid roadies here in a minute, certain roadies. But I started picking a good paying jobs. I will not take anything less than $9.
Right.
That means I need to get about 20, 22, 18 deliveries a day to make my $200 goal. And where before, I would do 35 to 45 deliveries a day to make that $200.
All right, so check this out, right? Go ahead, finish. I thought you was finished.
So you have to, kind of adapt. You have to figure out. You have to look at apps. That was the reason. Here's the reason why I don't take roadie. And UDM, an example. You end up in Naples, and you have a delivery from Naples to Miami, and you get a roadie. Let's say, what is it, 100 miles from Naples to Miami, I believe?
Yeah, about, yeah.
Okay, so let's say you get a roadie that pays $105 from Miami to Miami. You're probably going to take it. Problem with I ran with the roadie is sometimes they have fraudulent transactions, especially in my town when I do Walmarts. I get about 1 out of 10 where it is just undeliverable. There's nothing you can do about it unless you take it home. And you have to sit and wait for the system to give you a permission to return it back to store for an hour after it times out the time that you need to deliver by, or call customer service. And half of the time you call customer service, they're just unresponsive.
Okay,
and
so
that's why when
with roadie,
busy, like in Lexington, I'll pick something that is out of the area, so I can throw it in my trunk and drive with it and continue with other apps. So when the time runs out, I can just go ahead and return it back to the store.
All right, so you see how you just told me the negative about working the roadie app in your market, right? What if I challenged you to find something positive with the roadie app? This is let me explain why I'm saying this, right? For years I've had roadie on my phone. Years. Okay? And not until recently that it really hit me how I should use roadie to my benefit. Not until recently. So it's like I was looking at roadie like everyone else is looking at roadie. Man, that ain't worth my time. Oh my gosh, that stuff too heavy. Oh my gosh, this is like, if you know that there's some types of orders in your market that are undeliverable, like you can't deliver them for whatever the reason, and you gotta wait and you gotta try to get in contact with support. I learned that roadie pays you for any additional issues you might run into. For instance, let me
Not in my situation.
Okay, but listen. Let me explain this. If you don't look for it or know how to get to it, you won't know. You will just be paid what you were paid. Now, okay, so I picked up a $22 order from the airport. It was luggage. When I get to the destination, it was the incorrect location. The correct location was 7 miles south from where I had to drive to. I contacted Roadie through their chat support in the app. They later on gave me an additional $8 to deliver to the new address, which was actually headed back south to where I wanted to be anyway. So they gave me $8 plus the 22, and the order that I'm talking about was in the recent vlogumentary I did. I said it was a $17 with a $5 tip, which put it at $22, right? That Roadie was the one I actually got the next day. They sent me an email, and I can share the email if you want to see it. They sent me an $8 additional for the inconvenience. Roadie will even reimburse you for toll. If you look at the different things, when you do a Roadie order, they will reimburse you for certain things. You just have to submit it. And how do you submit it? I think it's through the chat. That one particular night, I didn't call support. I went through the chat and they gave me $8 for 7 additional miles headed back south to where I was going to anyway. It would have been deadhead miles, but it totaled up to $30 on Roadie. And this is the thing that I'm saying. Like, okay, I asked you the question. I know how it doesn't work for you in your market. But what if you could find one way to make it work for you in your market? Just like I had it for years, and I just recently found how to make it work for me. I used to do 20 deliveries. I had delivery goals. I did a video saying delivery goals, right? If you make a certain amount of money in 20 deliveries, then you should just count your deliveries. You know you're going to average out, you're going to make your money anyway if you do 20 deliveries, right? You decline what you don't want, you accept what you want, just do 20 deliveries. When I changed my way of handling, when I'm out here making my money, I no longer do 20 deliveries. By this time of the day, I would not be at $80. I would be at around $50. And the rest, to make $200 for the day, would have to start like 5 p.m. all the rest till like late night for dinner rush and midnight rush. You understand what I'm saying? But the way that I approach it now, I'm making more in less time, right, than I used to make, and I'm doing less orders. If that makes sense. I hope you understand what I'm saying. I don't need to do 20 orders to do $200 in a day anymore. I might need to do 10 to maybe 15 at the most. I'm still making my goal, and I don't even have to hit 200. I'm still making my goal, but I just changed the way that I handle myself with these apps. So when people are out here and they're using the same strategy that they have been using since day one, and they haven't changed it, this is why I wanted to spark this conversation, to kind of like, hopefully, with me speaking, just to kind of like not jog your memory, but to kind of like help you see things from a different angle. I don't want to do 20 deliveries. That's a good amount of work. I'd rather do 10. How can I make my money in 10 deliveries? I might have to drive some miles, but I will stack using certain apps to make my money. So $80 at this time for the day is definitely better than the typical $50 that I would make back in the day when I was doing just the food deliveries and not using Roadie to my benefit. And this is where I'm coming from. So what about finding something good to make it work for you? You think you could do that? I'm not telling you to take anything. I'm not telling you what to take.
In my market,
okay,
it's going to be challenging, but definitely when I start traveling like to Idaho this spring or summer, I'll be looking at alternatives because, DoorDash probably going to work, but Uber probably not, Grubhub probably not. So I'll have to, look for alternatives while there as well. So yeah, it's just about the market. It's just where I'm dashing right now. In Lexington, there is no stores that actually that have a roadie other than the AutoZone, and very rarely I see anything happening in the AutoZone on roadie that would match up perfectly for me. To go in the same direction. But yes, people need to, especially when it's slowing down, when they're on that last delivery, they need to pop that roadie app, pop the dispatch app, refresh the screen, see what's going on, and see if there's something in your way.
Right.
Second thing, if you're in a market where you have a lot of people that swiping that screen, maybe you have to be swiping as well.
I wouldn't even say that. I wouldn't even say that.
You used to swipe in the past as well.
but
go ahead.
But listen to this, right? Since you're like my only caller, right? I know Bud Soda left, but you're my only caller right now.
Wow.
Listen to this. There was a night that DoorDash was offering very high peak pay. Uber Eats was on fire because everyone went to DoorDash. And the way that I know this is because majority of the restaurants that I worked in a specific area on that night, they were telling me, hey, what's going on with the drivers? Nobody's picking up the orders. So the orders that they were sending me, they were high payouts because everyone was trying to get on that DoorDash peak pay. So
hey, I love those days. That's why I'm sitting over a week now at home with my neck.
So the thing is,
for that day.
So the thing is, man, if you don't have all of them on, if you don't figure out how to work the system, right, in your market, then you will be missing out if you're just trying to do what everyone else is doing. It's just the same thing as if a certain area is offering a certain peak pay, I might go to a whole different area that's not offering anything at all. And that's just the strategy that I've used for years, and it has constantly worked. And it's the same thing with Surge for Uber. Surge, if certain areas they're surging, the surge prices are way up, it's going to be extremely busy, right? It's going to be busy. Uber has that volume that you're going to be busy at least in my market. It might not be that way in your market, but I'm just saying, just having the options, it's not about just multi-apping at this point. Having the options and using your brain to make each offer that you choose to accept work for you in your market, whether it's high mileage, low mileage, doesn't matter. This is the way that I have literally almost doubled my pay in less time. Somebody said here it's about the hustle, right? It's not necessarily, the hustle doesn't necessarily mean get up, run. It's also about the strategy that you're willing to apply, right? It's like, I am willing to drive 40 miles for $20. But will I just do it with just the one? No, I'm not going to do it with just the one. I will have to pair it with something else. I got to find something else. And if I have to drive all 40 miles and I only made $20, I am not coming all the way back. 80 miles total? No, I'm not coming all the way back until I make an additional $60. Something, it got to give me, the offers that I get on whatever platforms I use got to total up to $60 before I get back to where I started from. So I'm not moving. I'm parking my car Slavic. I'm sitting in the shade, taking a little nap. I'm not moving.
I do the same thing.
I'm not moving.
I do the same thing. I feel like YouTube or something.
But that's my approach. I'm not going to sacrifice whatever because I need to make this money right here. And I'm not going to just sacrifice me driving 80 miles total and I'm not making the money I want to make round trip. I'm literally going to park and chill to see what's over here. To see what's going on. Is there another roadie? Is there another something that's headed in that direction? Is there something that I can make my money? Okay, cool. If there is, I'm taking it. If there isn't, then if today was just a bad day, I will try again tomorrow to make up what I lost yesterday.
And I discovered there's never a bad day. It might be just a period of a time that it's bad. Just let the time bypass, and you'll get into a good period of time.
Yeah.
I never noticed that the day is bad. It starts bad and just lasts the whole day. Like while the other driver is having a fantastic day, and you just rolled the wrong dice. There is some case, but that depends on your attitude. If your attitude is negative towards the job, yes, that day will last the negative the whole day. But overall, if you apply that positive energy to that negative time, let's say you got a bad order that actually took 2 hours out of your time. Hey, just release it, turn off the apps, take a nap, just let it out. And in that half hour, an hour later, turn those apps on. Yeah. And you'll notice that they will just over and will become, and you will actually make more and you will compensate for that lost time. And you're like, wait a minute. I had 2 hours of bad time, but then I ran for 3 more hours and I made another $200. Because,
let me ask you this.
Because at the end of the day, universe take care of you if you respond properly and correctly to her.
So let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
Have you ever been in a situation, and we got like 2 other callers in the queue, okay? But have you ever run into a situation, and this is for anyone that's willing to answer this, right? Let's say you ran into a situation where you might have missed out on a great order because you probably hit decline by mistake. You're like, oh, man. And then now you're trying to get whatever you can that the market is providing, right? And then you finally get something that, okay, it's not like the first unicorn that you was about to take, but now you're just doing an order because you want to stay busy and you want to keep the money coming in. But immediately after you drop that one off, you get one that's either equivalent or even better than the one that you missed out on earlier. Has that ever happened to you, Slavic?
Yes, sometimes, and no, sometimes.
Sometimes.
I don't, but I do not try to make a deal out of it. Hey, I roll the dice, swallow it, and move on. That's the way I look at it.
See, but I see in situations. Go ahead.
But I also seen situations where, I'm like, hey, I should have taken this, and I'm sitting for 2-3 hours, nothing. And then the evening shift comes, and only orders are coming in is $20, $25 orders. And I'm like, man, the night is just paying me very well for the day that actually was just. I learned, set your goals and try not to mess with them. If your goal is minimum $9 on an order, don't mess with it. Stick to it. It will still take care of you. Now, if you're not getting enough of those 9 orders, then maybe you need to adjust and drop the price, and that's where the adjustment comes. But if you, let's say, set a $9 order and you're taking $6 orders, you already gave up on your goals. You already gave up on your process, on your system that you agreed to. Now you will never know how many $9 orders or $10 orders coming in if you decided to take $9 orders and you're taking 6.
But even something, I understand what you're saying, but I'm gonna disagree with you there. You want me to tell you why? I'm just gonna disagree with you. Just having a friendly conversation with my brother, right? Let me explain why I disagree. It's not. It's. I see setting a goal for I'm only taking $9. It's not realistic unless the average order in your market is $9. It's like some people will be in a market and the average order is $6, but they're only looking for a $9. There's some people that only want $10 minimum. If the average order is $6, they're not going to see that many $10, which in on the flip side, they're only making a certain amount of money for the total time that they were declining orders. So this is where I disagree with you. It's like if the average order is $9, then $9 should be your number. If the average order in your market is $6, then $6 should be your number. And when I say average, I mean what you see that's worth your time and you see the most of. If you are willing to take, if you're
in my market,
okay.
In my market, average order is $3.
But no. What I'm saying, the order that you're willing to take, not necessarily, because if you really want to do that, the average order in my market is $2. Because you see the majority of that, right? But what I'm saying is the order that you're willing to take, what you see more of, that's where I'm coming from with the average, right? The average that you see more of, not necessarily the $3, the $2, the $4, or even $5. If those numbers are the ones you're willing to take, then that is your average. But if you see, like say, if you don't always see a $9, but you see majority $6, and then the rest with the $3 and $4 and the $2, then you set your minimum at the minimum that you see the most of. If you go high, then you're probably going to be sitting longer and making less. Because if there's like, I think I used this in a video once, Slavic. I said, if you see $25 orders, 10 $8 orders, and one $12 order, what would you go for?
Can you repeat the number again?
If you see in your market $25 orders, 10 $8 orders, and one $12 order, which one would you go for?
The 25, because there's more of them.
Right. But some people won't go for the $5 orders, even if they would make that much more money.
Okay. I'm sorry. I misunderstood. I thought you said
25.
$25.
No, 20 number $5 orders. Okay.
Okay.
You got 20 of them $5 orders. You got 10 $8 orders, and you got one $12 order. Which one would you go with?
I'll go for the $8.
You'll go for the $8.
Yes.
Obviously, it's less work, but you're less money too.
Here's the reason is because I look at time, and I have a problem with because, and of course it all depends on the market. But here's the reason why I'll look at higher dollar orders, but those that actually come enough of them through, is because if you take a $6 order, the $6.25 is very common on DoorDash, and it takes you 5 minutes to the restaurant. You have to wait 5 minutes at the restaurant to pick it up,
right,
and then another 5 minutes to get it delivered. You're right now 15 minutes into the delivery, and if your goal is $20 an hour minimum, that means that order is paying about 17 minutes. Now you have to get back to the same place, hoping you'll get another order. So the $6.25 becomes marginal.
So let me ask you this.
When it comes down to $4 orders, it becomes just unrealistic sometimes.
Okay, let me ask you this. I'm listening to you throw these numbers around, right? Is it really that serious for you to have a certain amount per minute, per hour? Is it really that serious for you?
For me, time is the most precious thing that exists in human life. And it's the time that we don't even know when it ends. Some will live 60, some will live 80, some will live 100, and some will die tomorrow. So
okay,
I see the time as the most valuable. So that's why mileage for me, I don't care as much. I use mileage to calculate how much time it will take me, but not how much it's going to cost me. But everything I calculate based on time, because time is end. And then if you look and study, people that come out of it from employment, they get themselves into self-employed.
Okay, so I understand.
They stop calculating time because it doesn't add up.
I understand where you're going with this, but this is the reason why I'm asking this. You said you would not do a roadie because your time, right? But roadie pays more typically than food delivery. But you are willing to wait or utilize your time for less money. I don't want to say waste your time, but it seems like that's the best thing to say right now. But wasting your time for less money instead of waiting for the same or maybe around the same amount of time for more money, you're avoiding one that pays more because you think you're wasting your time. But in the end, you're actually making more than you would make on the orders that you are actually calculating all the time and everything for the little pay the smaller pay that you get.
UDM, can I say something on the roadie?
Yeah, sure.
Maybe in your market, and orders are coming in with a good payout. I'll tell you, there's an order available when the stream just started, $16 for 40 miles. But I'm okay with 40 miles as long as it's on my way, like you said.
Right.
But the problem is, it's 40 miles away from me, and it's taking me to nowhere. So am I going to take those $16? No. And that's where a lot of the roadie orders, I see $6, $7, $5, $4 orders on roadie. Yes, but if I'm going to see something that is in my way that, pays decently, oh, you betcha I'm taking it. You're not going to prevent me unless they deny me.
Okay, so I hear this a lot. Maybe it's your market. Maybe it's this. Maybe it's that, right? I will say this, and this is a very bold and general statement, right? If the app isn't making money in your area, they would not be there. Do you agree or disagree?
I agree, but I also have a lot of drivers that compete with this so much that these orders pops and goes in seconds.
But just hear me out. If the app exists in your market, that means there's money in your market. You just have to figure out how to make it work for you in your market. If the app could not make money, then they would not be there. If they're offering you certain payouts, it's all about your patience at that point. If you don't have the patience to scan through all the crap that they show you, right? Like you said, the $16 for 40 miles, right? I'm pretty sure if you see $16 for 40 miles, there's probably $16 for 16 miles or something that's less, but you're not seeing it because you're not giving it as much time to find those types of orders. I feel like there's some people that used to say, I can't make the money that you make because we don't get those types of offers in my market. And I would say, so are you telling me a $10 offer does not exist in your market? I'm not saying that you're going to get a bunch of $10 offers, but just the thought of how a person would think like those offers do not exist in my market. How can you tell me a $10 offer does not exist in your market? So nobody, maybe you're just not seeing it on your device, but I really do believe that there's a certain amount of pay that a driver can make, no matter small town, large city, doesn't matter. It's all about how you handle yourself in that market. Just the same thing as me telling you or me asking you, Slavic, 20 $5 orders, 10 $8 orders, and then one $12 order. You are willing to be paid less. You would work less, but you would be paid less as well. But let's say it took you 8 hours to make those $80. But if you were just taking the $5 all day, you probably would have made your $100 in literally 6 hours. But you wouldn't know that. And this is where I'm trying to get everyone to just open up their minds and just see things just a little bit different, because the pay is less now. We have to make adjustments. And this is why I'm talking about roadie. This is why I'm talking about dispatch. This is why I'm talking about all these other ways to make the money. But you gotta you have to digest what I'm saying. If you don't want to digest it, then it's kind of like it defeats the purpose. But if you see a $16 going 40 miles in your area, I'm pretty sure there's other ones that pay just as well, but you just haven't scanned to look for them. You don't look for them because I'm not doing that. So you probably just turn off the app, or you just close it and you just never open it again. And I understand that.
I'll be honest. Before I started taking Sunday completely off, I used to run a roadie in my town on Sundays and do those Walmart deliveries. And sometimes you would get a $10 order for one order. You would get a $20 for 2 orders or 3 orders. But lately I've been seeing for $20. 7 deliveries, 80 miles. And I'm like, who's taking it? And still somebody's taking it. I'm like, okay.
7
great.
deliveries. You said 7 deliveries, 80 miles, right?
7 deliveries, 80 miles for $20. I'm like, who's doing it?
Somebody.
That's going to take you more than an hour.
But, all right. So look at, okay. I have
seen people coming from Lexington.
I have 2 other callers in the queue, brother.
45 miles away to deliver this.
I have 2 other callers in the
wow.
queue. And I really got to take these calls because I really got to go. You've been on the line 35 minutes. I think we need to talk. You and I, we need to talk offline. And I'll call you when I'm done with the stream. I'll call you when I'm done with the stream, okay? We got to talk. We're going to chop it up. All right. Let's take this next caller. And I literally have about 5 more minutes, fam. So, hello. Who are we speaking to?
SoFlo.
Hey, what's up, SoFlo? How you doing, brother?
Not much. Good. I'm just going to say it fast, and that's it. Don't worry. The only thing I was going to say is that to you and to everybody that, that can make that $150, $200 a day with these gigs, I'm going to have to say I have mad respect for you guys. Even if multi-tap apping and everything, because, for me to make $150 in one day, it's a little struggle. Just relying on 3 apps, because it's better to have more apps than that. Because I'm still trying to apply for, for that food delivery, the other one, the grocery, so that way I can go fast, but I can't do it.
It's not just the grocery, though. What about dispatch? What about
ship?
curry?
I'm still waiting on ship, and no, I haven't never heard that, but I'm gonna check that out.
See, that's what I'm saying.
But regardless, regardless, I mean, I did apply for, like I said, I'm waiting on I don't know about the ride share because I still gotta replace the car and everything. But regardless, I would rather stick with my W-2 job over the gig. So that's why I'm just calling just to say that, to any of you guys that's doing this full time, I got respect. It's not very easy. And I know I see a lot of people using one app, Uber Eats, here in Miami, because, a lot of the Latin people use Uber a lot, and they know that's the only app they know. That don't realize there's Grubhub and DoorDash. But again, that's all I wanted to call. That's all. Just to say, just to show I have a lot of respect for a lot of you. It's not easy, but at the same time, I don't think I can probably survive $100 a day. Yeah.
All right.
But
so
I'm trying to go out there and all day.
All right. So let me ask you this, because it's not just about the hustle. It's about strategy as well, right? I don't know if you missed this part, right? At this time of the day, back in the day, ride-alongs and all that, I would probably be at like around 50 to 60 bucks at this time of the day. It's majority of the time it would average out to 50 bucks or less. Sometimes it'd be like 40 something or 50, right? And majority of the rest of my money, for me to make $200 for the day, I would have to work a late night dinner rush to make that kind of money. But now I'm working less and I'm making more in less time. Do you
No,
understand?
that I understand, and which is good.
And that's
But
not
like
even
I
a
said,
hustle.
yeah.
That's not a hustle. That's a strategy that changed the way that I get paid. And that's what I'm talking about.
No.
Mm-hmm.
No, and that's good. And that's good. And like I said, kudos to you for that.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
But for me, I gotta, because I don't do this full time, and now that I'm starting to do this full time until next week, I don't know how you guys do it. That's all I can say. I don't know how you guys do this, and that's the only reason I'm just calling, just to say that.
Kudos to us.
And I don't want to hold you up anymore. Because I know you have to leave in, like you said, 5 minutes.
All right, brother. No problem. Appreciate you.
Take care, UDM. Take care, everybody.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, let's take the very last call. Thank you for calling another UDM stream. Who are we speaking to?
You don't know who I am?
Oh, talk to me, brother.
I know you ain't got much time, man, but you guys, I think his name was Slavic, and you guys got it half right. When it comes to this gig thing, what you got to do is you cannot pay attention to money. And I know that is the primary force about doing business or being self-employed, but money should not be the first priority when it comes to this. You have to learn how to enjoy to do this. Like me personally, I enjoy doing it, and the money will come.
Mm-hmm.
The money will come when you enjoy doing something. So, and he said something about time. Time is actually the most important thing, but that's only half right. You have to enjoy your time doing this, and the money will come. Like you said yourself, you do a shorter time, but you make more money.
Yeah.
Because you actually enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? You enjoy it. You have to enjoy it because you wouldn't keep doing it.
Yeah.
So they work smarter, not harder. And I commend you for doing that. Yeah, I don't do it as much, but I make more money. And that's a very, very, very smart, efficient way. It's not how strong or how smart you are or how cunning you are. It's about how efficient you do things. So you use your time more efficient than everybody else. Therefore, you make more money. That's what I wanted to say. But
I appreciate that, man. I do still have 1 minute. So if you want to talk a little smack, you can.
Okay, I do. You better find out that contract extension. You better figure it out, boss. You better figure it out. You better figure out that contract extension, boy. I'll go elsewhere.
No, but you did touch on something very important in enjoying the time. Someone once told me that my slogan, "Do what you love what you do," right? It kind of like hinders me from, I guess, the success that I wish to have. I'm like, why? They said it's because it's basically saying that you love what you do no matter how much you get paid. And I'm like, so then they explain that it's coming off more like it's a hobby versus something that says, yeah, I'm going to get this money. But I'm like, technically, people love music, and there's artists that are worth millions of dollars because they love making music. So it's like, you got to enjoy the journey. You got to enjoy the journey of what you're doing to learn and to put the time in. I like doing this right here. I know I said 5 minutes and now I'm rambling. So it's like, I don't want to talk too long, but I'm just saying the fact that I love what I do here, the money doesn't matter to me, but it does not mean that it's not important to solidify certain deals that might come my way later on in life. Like when I used to produce, when I used to make a whole bunch of beats and stuff, right? I used to feel like the one that I made today, oh man, that thing is fire. And then people used to come, like my manager at the time used to tell me, nah, you can make something better. And in my heart, I'm like, no, I can't, right? And then next thing you know, a month, 2 later, I make something even better than the one that I made. But the thing is, my manager helped me understand to know that you will always get something better than what you thought you lost. So enjoy the journey. Don't hold on to the things that you're losing. Look for more in the future and in the present time. Just keep on striving to be better than you were yesterday. And I hold on to that, bro. It's like quality over quantity. I'm literally going hard as much as I can, but I'm taking my time at the same time. And I'm loving the journey, doing what I love and loving what I do. So
Right.
So I appreciate you for calling in and like saying something that triggered something in my brain to put that out there. I don't know who needed to hear that, but maybe someone needed to, and thank you.
Well, good. Yeah, no problem, brother. So.
All right, man. Well, you be easy. Your time's up.
I'll get you back next week. All right.
All right, brother. Have a good one. All right. So at the end of it all, family, again, I know they probably made a joke, but somebody will probably take it serious and say that, oh, these apps, they pay me to talk about them. I've had people say things like, oh, Uber is paying you, DoorDash is paying you, or you're a company man. No, I'm not. I'm just here to try to help you just to see things a little differently, because I'm out here full time and I'm always testing. And since I'm always testing, I'm always finding new things. And if you look at the Gig Workers Toolkit, I have a whole playlist. Just look at the Gig Workers Toolkit. I have a video that says how I made $1,000 in 3 days. But when you look at the video, there's no real strategy to how I made 3,000. I keep saying 3,000. There's no real strategy to how I made $1,000 in 3 days. It was me being motivated to make $1,000 in 3 days. Somebody said I can't make $400, and I said, bet, let's make it happen. I looked at the time. I didn't care how long I would be out there. The whole goal was to make this amount of money for the day. So I went out there and I hustled all day long. 3 days. There's no real strategy. It's just, what are you motivated by? And at that time, I was motivated by, I needed to take my kids, my family, to Disney World. I'd never been to Disney World. My kids, my younger ones, never been to Disney World. So I'm like, this summer we going to Disney World. That's how I made $1,000 in 3 days. My motivation, whatever it is that motivated me. And it's the same thing I'm trying to do here to try to help you see whoever this is helping. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm not paid by any of these apps. I will literally talk trash about an app if I feel like I need to. But if I see an opportunity, I'm not going to trash them if there's an opportunity there. Right? I'm not. Just telling you straightforward, I'm not. So, with all that said, I think I talked more than enough. And I know I spoke more than enough. And it's time for me to go. I gotta go get my boys. Right now. They're gonna kick my butt. All right, so I just want to say, what's up, Amy? What's up, Mr. Steve on the road? Steve Compton. Steve Compton, you keep putting messages. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with you, Steve. But it seems like you got something going on with the other person over there. All right. But y'all should work that out, man. Steve Compton says, UDM, you have the patience of a saint. Most everyone here are on your level and dumped a W-2 to be on on ourselves. Okay. All right. Dwayne, Pop Pro, Texas, Bubba, IRL. Let's see. Axel, what's up? Slavic, I'm going to call you right after this, man. We got to talk. You wake up early, you cash the first batch. Okay. All right. Anyway, let me go, y'all. Let's go. Bye.